Oh yeah, Xbox Series X, Unreal Engine 5, next generation games. Let's get into it. What is going on, guys? Dealer back again with yet another video. Thank you so much for joining me. We are all excited about the next generation of consoles, but of course, without games, what are you going to play on them? Well, hey, you're not. It's impossible. I've tried. There's no games. You can't play nothing. And that's why we're talking about games. We often cover games in many different videos, maybe just an element or two, but this one is brought to you by the power of Unreal Engine 5. Yes, this game engine you saw running on the PlayStation 5 is, of course, coming to the Xbox Series X, and a first-party studio has an announcement. But hey, if you're excited for new games coming to the Xbox platform, hit that like button, show a buddy or two this video, and of course, subscribe for all of the latest and greatest. Let's get into it. Microsoft investing in a ton of new software, particularly new studios, and with the studios that they do have, studios like inXile Entertainment, they have hired dramatically. Now, I would have heard this many months ago and thought, oh, well, that's not really a big deal, seeing as, well, hey, inXile Entertainment don't have a lot of employees and they can't really produce games on a large scale. Well, I would have been wrong. Well, kind of. They are already up to 100 employees after being acquired by Microsoft and are now working with Unreal Engine 5, an engine being touted for its phenomenal production value even with those 100-man teams. inXile reveals its next generation RPG for Xbox Series X will be using Unreal Engine 5. Now remember, Microsoft did say their games would support Xbox One for a year, maybe two. I really doubt you'll see this game anytime within that window. It may be built from the ground up to actually leverage 16 threads and the power of a 2080 Super. But like all games, will have a minimum spec on PC. Here is their official announcement. Chester on Twitter says, hey, I know you're working on a AAA solo RPG for the Xbox Series X. I hope you'll collaborate with other Microsoft studios, and I wish you to use the Unreal Engine 5. Shout out to Chester. English may not be his first language, keep that in mind. inXile does reply and says, thank you. We're excited to share more, although it'll be a while. Focusing on finishing up Wasteland 3 and getting it into people's hands. Remember, Wasteland 3 does ship on August 28th. inXile does continue and say, we will indeed be using Unreal Engine 5 for our next project, that being the big RPG they've been talking about. Now, for those curious, this game should be a first-person shooter. Well, at least according to their job listings, they are searching for those with extensive experience in first-person shooters. So while games like Wasteland have been quality for their time, if you are not a fan of that isometric top-down type gameplay, that type of strategy role there, you will be pleased to know that you're looking at a more traditional first-person RPG style game, and according to them, it is a AAA one at that. Now again, I must reiterate that Unreal Engine 5 is being touted for its spectacular ability to provide production value to games and teams that aren't as big as maybe the biggest of the big, meaning teams with 75, 100, 150 people, even though that is not really all that small, can still compete on the graphics level. For instance, Hellblade is one of the best looking games I've seen in my entire life. This game was developed with 20 people. This game is also built on Unreal Engine 4, and Unreal Engine 4 is upgradable. You can move Unreal Engine 4 projects in progress up to Unreal Engine 5. This will undoubtedly help many teams in the industry, and especially the smaller ones like that of inXile. And just because they are only 100 or so strong doesn't mean they can't provide you with a phenomenal, lengthy, and beautiful experience. It just means it's going to take a little bit longer. The fewer teams you have based off of your production value and mechanics target for the title, the more years it's going to take you to make that game. That's not necessarily a good or bad, it's just how things work. So it'll be very interesting to see how inXile approaches next title, and I know for a fact that many of you are excited to see what their first game with a true Microsoft budget can do. And again, they may even hire more people throughout this process to help ramp up that production extension or scale that time back. It all depends on their parameters. But hey, let me know what you guys think down below. If you're like me, you are extremely excited for the future of Xbox, especially knowing that over the past couple years, we just hadn't had a whole lot. Myself, I know they're hanging on to a lot of stuff. I hear great things about July, guys. Be very excited. Now is the time, if there ever has been one before. And again, let me know your thoughts down below. Hit that like button. Show a buddy or 5 million if you're one of the people that have 5 million buddies. I'd appreciate it. There's a join button if you want to support the channel, a Patreon if you want to support the channel, link down below, and of course, subscribe for more. You guys rock. I love doing these videos, and of course, the community we have here. And again, you guys, I can't thank you enough for what you do. I'm Dealer. I'm out.